back already? All right. I'm glad you're here. Remember, if you were loving this book and you want something else to have another adventure, or you want to read this adventure on your own, click that link up there. Find a copy of this, as well as other books by David Williams and other authors. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with Chapter 18, Ba 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 Boom. My dream came true just a few nights ago, answered Robin in the basement of Lord Hunt Hospital. I thought I would set the Midnight Gang an impossible challenge. At school, I am on a music scholarship. I always receive top grades in piano and violin, all sorts of instruments, really, and want to be a composer one day. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I can actually blow my own trumpet. My passion is for classical music, opera mainly, so my dream was to become a conductor of an entire orchestra. This was a challenge, said the porter. An orchestra might have 100 musicians, so I had to borrow children from hospitals all over London to help. What did they play? Asked Tom. Medical instruments, replied Robin. And I was the conductor. I chose my favorite piece of music, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. How did it sound? Asked Tom. Awful, but it didn't matter how it sounded, said Robin. It was how it felt. Tom could see the sense of wonder on the boy's face. So how did it feel? He asked. It's hard to say exactly, but I suppose conducting them felt like I was touching the sky, replied Robin. Wow, said Tom. He was going to have to think of something extraordinary if he was to top any of these dreams. It's my turn next, said George excitedly. The next time the Midnight Game springs into action, it will be to make my dream come true. Well, just hold on now, Mr. George, sir, said the porter. I am more than a little stuck on this particular wish. What is it? Asked Tom. He wants to fly, said Amber. In a plane? Asked Tom. Oh, no, no, no. That would be far too simple, replied Robin. Our George wants to fly like a superhero. Just take off and whoosh. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Super George. Tom looked at George. He was a hefty boy. It would be hard to find someone less suitable to take to the skies. It seemed impossible. Perhaps this was a dream too far, even for the mighty Midnight Gang. The porter was not so easily defeated. We'll find a way, he slurred. Don't you worry, young Mr. George, sir. We always find a way. All it takes is imagination. Right? Now it's getting late or early, depending on how you look at it. I will clear all this up. The man indicated the North Pole he had created especially for tonight. Time for you children to go to bed. The children were all having too much fun. No, they whined. Yes, replied the porter. It's way past all your bedtimes. Reluctantly, the four children shuffled out of the freezer room and off down the corridor. And young Mr. Thomas, sir, he called out. Yes, replied Tom. I'm not sure if you enjoy wearing that pink frilly nightdress. No, I don't. Not one bit. I thought as much. I don't know why Matron would have given you that to wear. She should have plenty of spare pajamas in her office. Really? The boy couldn't believe what he was hearing. Then why would she make me wear this? That lady has darkness in her heart. She enjoys making the children in her care suffer. Why? Asked Tom. Matron loves being cruel. It must make her feel powerful. That is why she made you wear that nightdress. I hate her, said the boy through gritted teeth. Don't. That must be what she wants. If you hate her, she's won, and your heart will turn dark too. I know it's hard, but please, try not to let her get to you. I'll try. Good, said the porter. And in the meantime, I'll find you some pajamas. Thank you, replied Tom. Sorry I never really got your name. Just call me Porter. Everyone else does. It seemed strange calling him that, but there wasn't time to argue. Well, thank you, Porter. Come on, new boy, ordered Amber. Push! With a sigh, Time returned to pushing the wheelchair, and the gang headed in the direction of the lift. Freeze! You're under a vest, said George. What are you on about? Asked Robin. I just got the joke. Next time, I think it might be quicker to post the punchline to you, joked Robin. That would take too long, replied George without a hint of irony. Chapter 19. Positively Medieval. No one dared to speak as the lift made its long journey back up through the hospital to the 44th floor. Amber, George, Robin, and the newest member of the Midnight Gang, Tom, all knew they would be in deep trouble if they were discovered out of their beds in the middle of the night. Eagerly, the four children watched the numbers on the floors go up from B for basement to G, 1, 2, 3. It was now the early hours of the morning. 4, 5, 6. Lord Font Hospital was still and quiet. 7, 8, 9. The grown-up patients were all asleep. 10, 11, 12. A small staff of doctors and nurses were keeping watch over their patients during the night. 13, 14, 15. Ping! Children looked at each other in a panic. The lift had stopped, and not at the children's ward. Oh no, we're busted, said George. Shh, hissed Amber. Tom was unlucky enough to be standing right next to the lift doors, which began to slide open. Say something, Tom, whispered Amber. Me? Protested the boy. Yes, you, she replied. The lift door slid open to reveal a hospital cleaning lady. Her name badge read Dilly. Dilly stood still, her filthy old mop and bucket in hand, a lit cigarette stuck to her bottom lip. The cleaner's mouth fell open in shock, and a long tail of ash fell from her cigarette to the floor. Dilly stared at the group of children with deep suspicion. At the front was a boy in a pink frilly nightie, with three children, all in nightwear, behind him. What you kids doing out of your beds? Demanded the cleaner. Dilly's voice was deep and gravelly, no doubt from a lifetime of smoking. The cigarette on her lip bounced up and down with each word. That's a very good question, madam, replied Tom, playing for time. Actually, we've been asked by the hospital principal, Sir Quentin Strillers, hissed Amber, Strillers, to check on the quality of your cleaning at the hospital. You what? Demanded Dilly. Yes, took over Robin. We've been inspecting the entire place from top to bottom. Ping! The children all looked relieved as the lift doors began to slide shut. But just in time, the old lady put her foot in the way, and the door slid open again. Why would Sir Quentin ask a bunch of kids to do that? Demanded Dilly. For a moment, the Midnight Gang looked stumped. All eyes turned to Robin, who was considered the smartest member of the gang. The principal wanted children to inspect the cleanliness of the hospital because, they began, as you may have observed, children are shorter than grown-ups and therefore closer to the floor. That makes it easier for us to spot any dust or dirt, he said. But the three children looked mightily impressed. But you've got bandages over your eyes. You can't even see, said the cleaner. It was a good point. Well, that's where I come in, said Tom. I am very much the eyes of the group, and I must say that floor is a disgrace. Dilly was that rare type of cleaner who left everything she touched in a worse state than when she found it. Indeed, she had been cleaning the floor with water that was black with dirt. As a result, there was a dark, dirty smear on the floor where she had just dragged her mop. I just cleaned it, protested Dilly. Well, I am very sorry, but it needs doing again, said Tom. Ping! The lift doors tried to close again. Once again, there was no escaping. The cleaner's foot stayed firmly in place in the way of the lift's sliding doors. A trail of cigarette smoke loped and curled towards the children. And I am the nose of the group, added Amber. And I am sorry to say there is a toilet on the 7th floor that urgently needs cleaning. Or just clean the bogs there, complained Dilly. Well, You must have missed something, said Amber. Or someone's just been and deposited something positively medieval, added Robin. Yes, because I can smell it from here, agreed Amber, wrinkling her nose at the supposed Pong. I can't smell nothing, remarked George. Tom knocked him with his hand to get him to be quiet. Now, if you'll please remove your foot from the lift, began Tom. Our hospital inspection committee group thing has to be on its way. We don't want to have to report you to Sir Quentin Strillers, do we? The members of the gang all shook their heads and murmured, So if it was you, I would get that toilet on the 7th floor cleaned sharpish, snapped Amber. Yeah, of course, said the woman, removing her foot. Another ash trail dropped to the floor. And one last thing, Dilly, said Robin. Yeah? You should quit smoking. There's a rumor going around the hospital that it's bad for you. The next lift will be going down. Thank you so much, were the boys' parting words. Ping! And that will do it until tomorrow when you come back for Chapter 20, The Oath. Now remember, if you love this book, click up there. You can get yourself your own copy. You can also find some other books by David Williams and some other great authors as well. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for Chapter 20, The Oath.